Marana in game
Reserve
number 1.
time.
Now it's Axe and Faceless Void. I think the Faceless Void is a good call. I'm very surprised they didn't take it in the first phase, but realizing EG didn't have no team fight, especially without the Void, what else is Universe going to play?
Dark's here.
Dark's here. Dark's here's good. I'm down with that.
He might not be happy about it, but they'll put him on it if they need it. That's for damn sure. We go back to Wings though and see what they want to typically pair with it, and they're gonna go for a Beastmaster here. He hasn't been like the platinum tier offlaner that we saw like a month or two or so ago, but teams still will go back to him just for his utility and obviously map awareness and control.
I mean, I just want to highlight the similarities with the current opening that Wings have. And you compare it to the first game, they have the Rubik Timbersaw. They are entirely different heroes, but they do the same thing. They are very utility-based. They can fit in a lot of strategies. They provide you with very flexible lanes.
Reserve time.
Elder Titan, you can roam a lot early. Right? Beastmaster is very good in a lot of situations. So Wings are a team that always has a very flexible opening in their drafts.
And also EG, they don't pick up the Wisp early. It seemed like Wings they saw the Wisp and a lot of things became more clear to them. They could pick Enigma, safe lane in the jungle because Wisp can't really punish it. They go Wisp also struggles a little bit versus it, and the Evil Geniuses they can take it a little bit later. But
I'm sure EG knows about can't punish.
10 seconds remaining.
About that, can't punish the Enigma when they have IO, because they themselves
do.
do it all the time. So that was just a very excellent choice of strategy that Wings had in the first game.
Reserve time.
I think for EG, that Marana is probably the most valued hero that they're going to get outside of maybe the Faceless Void.
Yeah.
I think Marana was primarily the reason why they won that one game against E-Home. It's a hero that Sumail is comfortable with. The Aghanims allows you to scale very nicely against Wings Gaming's lineup, and more importantly, unlike the last game, this hero is just good at all parts of the game. Like Sand King, I feel a little bit iffy at some points. He doesn't actually deal that much damage at some point after he gets his ultimate off, but Marana just has a lot of sustained damage.
Yeah, but the other thing that I want to ask you, Will, is if you are the captain of EG, wouldn't you rather put Sumail on, you constantly put Sumail on a hero like Mirana? You don't want him to be on like the initiating heroes?
No, I agree with you. I think that going for the Sand King was the wrong idea because when I think of a player like Sumail, especially at TI, you need to put this guy on a playmaker. This is the type of hero that he wants to play. You want to get as active as you can with him and then allow him to, just in case, as your backup, allow him to farm and catch up back into the game. And I think Marana kind of hits all those check marks. They could be doing something a little bit tricky like they did in the last game where they do something odd like last pick a storm and force the Marana into a support role. I know PPD really liked to do that at TI5 where he would draft the Lina mid early and teams would think, okay, that's Sumail's hero. Then they would draft the Storm to hard counter, but I just like the fact that they keep things open for now.
Yeah, like this series has been so far a lot in the draft, like a lot is happening in the draft, how the drafters outmaneuver and lead the enemy to think that, oh, we're gonna do this, but we're actually not gonna do this. And
the
we're
mind games, man.
Yeah.
The mind games in this draft are pretty ridiculous. This is one of those things, like, I hope to God PPD releases a draft analysis video when this is all over, so it could be like, wow, Wings are just really, sometimes it feels like one step ahead or just on a totally different planet. Yeah. You guys consider, we're talking about possibly something like the Dark here for Universe, but what about something like Batrider?
10 seconds
ignored
remaining.
by these two teams, it looks like, through the first phase. Is this something that EG could
5
consider
seconds
pulling
remaining.
out, or is it a bit risky already against an ETBM?
Wouldn't you prefer Darkseid, Will, with the Ogre so you can roam and pressure?
Yeah, and you're against two melee heroes already, but if you're gonna do that, I would really like to see a melee core out of EG, and instead they grab the Night Stalker.
The vision game, they're gonna limit the Beastmaster's Hawk vision in this game.
But where's it going? Because if it was a duo between Ogre and Night Stalker, that seems like an awkward melee bruising.
I mean, it's pretty good though.
So.
Don't you think so?
They beat Wings in the group stage with a Night Stalker, Universe Night Stalker.
Yeah, offlane, yeah, that'd be nice.
I think the vision game is really important, especially for Marana. If you can just keep it constantly dark, you're almost always just going to get the jump off. Heroes like Marana really heavily rely on playing around the space
10 seconds remaining.
So you know what you're going to open up to into a team fight, so you know whether it's safe or not to blink.
5 seconds
I think
remaining.
the hero is going to be what they need to kind of snowball into that early game. And it allows you to pressure whatever safe laner Wings picks, almost no matter what, just because Ogre and Night Stalker, they both have high amounts of armor.
Yeah, but they're all very single target. They don't have much T push apart from Mirana.
I was just thinking that too.
Yeah, Wings could just build like into a 5-man lineup, like to just push early.
I mean, I think that's what they're going for. They can even grab something like the Luna.
Yeah, possible with the SD and the Beastmaster.
Yeah, it'd be incredibly hard for EG to really do anything about that.
Even the Terrorblade is good here for them.
Yeah. This gives you a big concern that EG, though I like the raw aggression and the capability of nerfing down the vision with that Night Stalker, you don't want to put yourself into a corner where you can't deep push a bit. But that helps.
They already know.
They're ready for it. Now they're taking the step right back and saying, if you're to go down that road and try to be very push heavy or split push heavy, we have a Wyvern now to work with. Don't even think about that terrible
10 seconds
I think
remaining.
Wyvern is the perfect pick here.
Yeah, that's probably the best pick here for them.
5 seconds remaining.
Especially since if you look at Wings Gaming's lineup, there's not a lot of magic damage. When they pick something like the
Reserve
Terrorblade or the Luna, it's gonna already hard counter do well. I still think Wings will go that route because it is so powerful, but it is a decent counter for what's ahead.
They could also just split push with the Shadow Team. They don't even have to push. Like they could do like AM, Naga, Alchemist, like any of these heroes that don't have to break high ground but are still extremely annoying to deal with. And Winter Wyvern can't deal with those particularly well.
But which one would you go for in this situation? Which one is more likely to succeed?
Ember or Naga?
Naga's banned, so I can help you there. But
I don't like Ember because he's not particularly good with the Shadow Team.
It's 5-man. This is just gonna go down to the 5-man route and the split. Like you have the good split push illusions if you have level 4 disruption with the Medusa. So he's sort of like he gives you both things, the 5-man and the split push.
have we seen
10 seconds remaining.
do Medusa before? I'm sure they can do it, but
Yeah, it's actually pretty good
5
versus the Winter
seconds
Wyvern too.
remaining.
Because if you curse, like, and you're attacking your teammate, you still hit everyone if they're trying to come on you. Like the split shot
Reserve
doesn't
time.
actually do that much damage to your teammates, and she's
10
very
seconds
tanky.
remaining.
He's not really going to get focused down easily.
So do you put him mid this game?
5 seconds remaining.
I think it
Most
matches.
likely, right?
Yeah. So K versus Morana.
If you go for, I guess it depends now. If you decide to put it in,
Radiant
do you pick
team
another
ban.
push hero, or do you take something like the Jug in the safe lane just for the healing ward? And
The Jug seems really good here.
it's not bad. I triple checked. I'm really bad at, but I'm pretty
yeah,
sure.
it feels like the drafting screen is out there a mile
10
away.
seconds
So
remaining.
I didn't wear my glasses and I'm still having a hard time here, but there is a ban
5
on the
seconds
Slark there at
remaining.
the end coming out from EG.
Do you think they need some magic
Radiant
damage to deal with
team
the?
Dire team pick.
Oh, man. His second appearance on the main stage, the last time he was here, he knocked out OG. Will he knock down EG in the lower bracket?
They have 4 heroes that deal a lot of spell damage.
Man,
That is, I don't think that's
there's a
gonna
big
get
sigh of, oh boy.
Guys, I'm just gonna go wings all the way.
And they decide to quickly grab it. Alk has actually had not a win yet on the main stage. I believe he's 0-6 so far.
Wings all the way.
Wings all the way. Good riddance of Alchemist, but
Dude, I'm sticking with.
You sound so unsure. Like, I want to stay with my boys.
You gotta. Yeah, I'm gonna go with EG.
they even have Shadow Demon on their side. You can even deal
It's
with that
EG. They could do what we saw them do at TI. They get knocked down. They come back to CDC and take it home. If that's going to be the
Prepare
case
for
or not,
battle.
we'll find out soon enough. Let's throw it over to the casters now. It's Draskell and OD.
Thank you very much, Dakota. Indeed, game 2, Wings versus EG. Wings up a game. 5th pick, Andy. They're bringing out the Huskar here in the upper bracket finals. Is it as devastating as a pick as we've seen in other series, or can EG deal with it?
I mean, there's always hope, right, that you can deal with it, but I'm thinking Wings draft is just ridiculously good this game. I'm having a hard time seeing how EG are going to cope with this. They're putting a lot on the emphasis of the Alchemist this game. Sumail's going to have a standout performance if they want to have a shot here.
Oh, goodness. I mean, what is the game plan for EG? Now, picking that Alchemist in response to Huskar, how are you looking to play this lineup against what Wings have this time around?
I think that you're really playing around the vision control, trying to get your cores farmed. You know, you have this Alchemist who can hit a
30
really strong
seconds
timing if
to
you get
battle.
25 minutes of farm. You know, we talk about Manta having the Radiance, the boost travel, the Octarine, stuff like that. If he can get there, then I think that EG are going to be okay. But if he can't, then I think Wings are just going to smother them with their 5-man potential. It's kind of similar to last game, like Wings just have the 5-man pushing potential advantage. Not necessarily as good a team fight, but it's still up there.
And I guess with Wings lineup as well this time around, yeah, they're going to have this kind of earlier push and fight potential,
battle
but
begins.
they've got a Medusa to fall back on. So say things don't go too great at the beginning of the game, they can certainly draw this one out against EG's lineup.
And that's why we emphasize the importance of Sumail having a really good game, because once the Medusa gets to like that 6-slot territory, clearly you're just going to have the situation where, you know, the Medusa is carrying those items much better than Alchemist during the later stages of the game. That's why I need to hit that timing, and here comes the smoke.
Oh, here we go. EG looking to kick things off with a bit of a bang, walking into Fabian. Here we have the 3 of them beating down Arrow. EG will get themselves first blood for Fear on the run.
It was ours all along.
Very good start there. Getting a very important kill and getting Fear off at the start that he wants.
Now, lane-wise, of course, is this EG reading wings? Is this the way they want to play it? They've obviously taken Fear down towards the bottom lane, put him in this tri lane, and they've left up on the top Universe on the Night Stalker. Is this a lane edge for EG?
I don't think that Huskar is very good at dual lanes in general, or even in that, an aggro try is probably even worse. He's very, very squishy with only one armor, and you don't have a lot of points into Inner Vitality and Berserker's Blood to really sustain you in these fights in the early laning phase. So I think it's more Wings understanding that if they do go aggressive on the side of EG, we won't be able to really deal with their heroes. So I think it's a good call to try to dodge.
And in return then, because of that, you feel that up on the top lane, Huskar, he's going to have a good start.
Oh, yeah.
How do they deal with that? Because surely they don't want this to happen. They don't want Shadow to get out of control at the beginnings because he's going to be very hard for them to slow down.
Well, slowing down the Beastmaster is also not, terrible. Stopping it from getting an early book means that you don't have to worry about, de-warding. It obviously stops the pushing potential of the Beast as well, delaying Roar. There are a lot of things that it's good to stop the Beastmaster from farming in the early game. But on the other side of it, Faith Beyond does have Iron Talent, so if stuff really starts to go bad, as it looks like it might here.
Trying to move in again, getting the ball between himself and Fear, so the arrows is going to be hard here. Not too hard for Fear though, just moves to the side, gets it in. EG, another kill on this bottom lane too, going the way of Fear as well. So this aggressive tri lane working very nicely for the side of EG, and indeed they may not be pressuring the Huskar, but they're certainly going to be getting Fear in a very good place in very good time.
It's kind of being stuck between a rock and a hard place now for the safe lane of Wings, because you kind of want to go jungle on the Beastmaster just because it's faster, but the risky run of going jungle is that, PPD and Zai are going to be able to go somewhere else and just cause more havoc, so it's just depending on, what trade-off Wings want to make here.
You can see at the moment, PPD already making movements up into the jungle side, working himself to Roche, just trying to get an easy pass to TP out to another lane.
Gonna try to TP.
Universe trying to get himself out, will be fine. Back to the fountain.
I wonder if he had used poison a bit sooner if he would have died there. It would have been very close. Not a guaranteed kill, but a nice attempt there from Wings.
No tag teams out into the lane, so the Ogre can start to get some levels with this wave pushed in. So EG reacting very nicely to the pressure that Shadow is putting on the Huskar up on the top lane with the help of Wise Shadow Demon. Lane-wise CS, looking towards the mid, the Alchemist Samael doing great against Blink at the moment. 18 to 5, 12 for 3, the Acid Spray spam harassing the Medusa out of the lane. So Samael certainly having the start that, as you said, he needs to be getting on this Alchemist.
Well, this lane is actually kind of annoying for a hero like Dusa because you don't really want to sit under Acid Spray and try to harass or anything like that. And because of it, the Alchemist will just shove in the lane a little bit faster than you, and he's pretty much doing what he should. Just throw out the Mystic Snake, try to steal the mana as much as you can, and prevent Sumail from really getting, any kind of farm. And every deny against an Alchemist is huge.
And I do like what EG have done here as well now. They've sent the two supports up to the top lane. Fear, he's had a great start. He's got the phase boots. He can handle this Beastmaster on his own now. And now EG can look to put their potential at helping out Universe and making sure they control this lane against the Huskar. But immediately, in reaction, Wings, they're going to play to that play. Send Shadow down to the bottom lane and avoid EG's move.
It's kind of the exact reaction that we're expecting. So Faith Beyond, the first move is he goes to jungle. He says, I don't want any part of this lane anymore. The aggro trailing from EG, I'm not getting anything here. And me getting level 6 at an early point in the game is very important. So that pretty much just sparks EG supports moving away, realizing that Fear no longer needs help against a Solar Elder Titan. And then Shadow says, wait a minute, there's two supports in my lane from EG. I don't want to be here anymore either. So I'm going bottom lane. It's a little bit of musical chairs here in the beginning of game number 2, but it's very important for both teams to get solid lanes.
See, they're coming forward. I mean, if one can get a disruption, maybe they can try and free up Fear, keeping his distance to let the ward down. They know what's going on behind the tree line, so Fear should be able to play it safe. So you can see trying to close the gap, but Fear just jumping away. And he should be fine, being able to play this safe with the vision that he's got. At the same time, EG smoked up and eyes on towards the mid lane. We'll see if they can get a wrap around onto Blink's Medusa, and it looks like they will. Universe closing in with the boy, Acid Spray out. Zai coming in with a Fire Blast to Blink, out of mana, out of HP. EG take down Medusa. And the support, EG Zai and PPD, making sure they're in the right place at the right time in this early game.
That was such a nice timing too, because if you look at the courier, there was a lot of stuff on it being delivered to that Medusa. At the bottom at the very least, and maybe the Ring of Acid will take a bit longer.
Universe and Zai continuing the journey down towards bottom, looking for Faith Beyond. Won't be able to quite finish him off here. Couldn't get himself over in time as the lane bottom was being pushed in by Shadow. Mahana couldn't join the fray, but 3 kills for EG. Samael backing up into the jungle, starting to rack up the gold. Himself lucky with a few of the columns as well, so the money's going to be there.
EG just making moves. It's first night phase, so Universe really wants to try to contest, at least the Beastmaster as much as you can. Force a reaction out of Wings and make sure that Faith Beyond's not going to hit that very early level 6. Anytime you can delay Beastmaster without committing too much, you always want to try to do that.
Wings themselves down in this lane, again eyeing up EG. Universe and Fear here being backed up as well by Zai. The full 3-man down, and Wings respecting this, they're backing up. Being very careful about how they come out. You can see Zai and Universe looking for a wraparound. As you said, Universe is wanting to utilize this nighttime period as much as possible.
The problem is the Wings Ward is doing an insane amount of work for them. They know exactly which direction EG are moving, so they can tell Faith Beyond move across the map, go past mid, go farm the top camp, so that way you're not going to die. And at the same time, they're all staying safe under the tower, so EG are actually wasting quite a bit of time here. Really, really good ward placement there from Wings.
Just whilst this goes on, up top, PPD's actually getting a good bit of XP on the Wyvern, so it's a good progression. It's going to be mid lane where the focus is. Universe trying to go on to Blink. TP coming through, actually not going to make it here. Would just be Faith Beyond coming across. EG trying to dive in deep. Universe low on mana. Not got no roar. Such, but the block on Faith Beyond. Still Blink trying to help out the Beastmaster. They'll turn it with Sumail and they'll take another EG. Really amping up the pressure in this early game. Sumail with the medallion complete as well very early on.
Radiant's middle tower is
certainly going at the pace that EG would have hoped for. And Wings themselves struggling to deal with it. And soon, PPD with this space, he's going to have a very early Winter's Curse. And at the bottom lane,
solo kill.
Hang on. Killing a Huskar on his own. Things are falling apart for Wings. And I mean, Fear, he's 3-0-0. This is a perfect start for EG. I mean, what do Wings do in response to this? What are they waiting for themselves?
They just need to make sure that they keep the vision down that they already have. It's very helpful for them at this point. And just try not to give away too many more picks. Night phase is going to be ending really soon. And that should give Wings breathing room to be able to, start to recover. And more than anything, I think that Blink is going to need to skill his ultimate soon. Because if they're prioritizing him that heavily and going for aggressive dives, you really want to make sure that you have Stone Gaze to be able to react to it.
I mean, with the Huskar pick as well, Wings, dying like that solo to Mirana. Shadow really can't afford that to be
Dire's middle tower is under
working his
attack.
way, of course,
It
towards
has no
Armor.
arms to defend itself.
Coming back into lane, but Fear getting a lot of farm. Sumail as well, so the
Dire's middle
how do
tower
they deal with
is
this
under
out as
attack.
well? Because surely there's going to be a point where Sumail can just frontline in these fights. And Wings, they're pretty much going to have to blow everything onto Sumail to kill him at this earlier stage of the game. They just don't have the lockdown until Faith Beyond. Okay, he's got the Primal Roar now. They're actually going to look towards the bottom, trying to stop EG, who have 3 heroes down here. They're looking to maybe make a play onto Shadow. PPD leading the way,
is all alone in the world.
swooning back Shadow, but Eyesight with the stop, catching 3 with the sleep here, and no, some focus Fear first. Roar out from Faith Beyond, Mirana's out of the fight. PPD and Zai have to back. But here we go with the Earth Splitter, forcing him to split. PPD will back into it though. PPD is going to go down almost certainly. He's got a golden praise. But Shadow, Fabian standing there. The Punch Spears stack up. The Wyvern's down. Melting to the flames of Shadow.
That Earth Splitter placement was amazing from Ice Ice. He's like, you want to walk down the ramp, you're going to eat this no matter what. If you go to the right, you're dead anyway. Those are the kind of Earth Splitters with no setup that the very experienced Elder Titan players
Dire's
are able to
bottom
throw out.
tower is under attack.
That was
Run,
so
little
good.
bottom tower. Run.
Wings trying to get a bit of a kick into the... They required. Mid lane Blink, getting a bit more space, but still Sumail, of course, with the stacks that he's had in the jungle backing up. Farm is looking very good for the Alchemist.
He's already got Solar Crest. I mean, if you think about the way that he's itemizing in this game, it makes a lot of sense. You look at Huskar, you look at Medusa, even Beastmaster, these heroes, they want to right-click you. It gives you armor, and it's flat armor, which is great against the Elder Titan as well. Wings do not have a tremendous amount of magical damage at this point.
These Hawks from Faith Beyond doing wonders. And Faith, he's out of there. The Hawks are spotted
What
him.
a player.
They were saying in the draft that this game, it's going to be all about the Beastmaster Hawks.
Dire's middle
And
tower is under
eventually,
attack.
the Universe
It
is
has
out
no
in
arms
charge
to defend
of it.
itself.
Both teams are going to have very good vision, but of course at the moment, Wings have the edge. He was trying to set up onto Universe to allow Shadow to come in, but Universe already out of there. Zai as well to back him up. Blink You're going to join the push up top. It's now got a point in Stone Gaze. Wings with the 4-man, ready to push in on the side though. High sides. Taking a bit of a beating from Zion Universe.
Is under attack.
Quite enough to stop Wings from moving in up top. And EG looks like they're happy just looking for things elsewhere. Mid lane PPD again. Trying to get counter wipe, and a bottom lane, the pressure being piled on by Sumail and Fear. Modification will come out, but it looks like EG will be able to find a tier 1 down bottom. At the same time, Wings looks like they will get the tier 1 in trade as well. Modification comes out. No, EG, they want to try and defend the tier 1 top. So they take the tier 1 bottom. Want to make sure the Wings don't get away with this. It looks like they still will Shadow. Claims the tower, but EG might be able to fight into this one.
They got Curse.
Moving forward, we'll see how they set this up. 5 love back to Shadow. Wing gets the Stone Gate off. This is going to make it very hard for EG to fight into.
Now belongs to the Aegis.
Is frozen up.
There's no damage.
PPD indeed just tickling them at the moment, of course, in this earlier stages. And Wings still deciding that they've got to back the 5 blast onto Y. Universe going onto Shadow Demon. He'll defensively disrupt himself. Shadow jumps back in, but the curse is out, holding it in place.
That
Not
stop.
going to be able to get any kills at the moment of the earth. But onto Sumail. Oh, and Shadow. They'll get the ultimate moment to this Sumail. I won't get out of that one.
Wasted sacrifice.
Shadow though still ticks down. The Ignite actually killing the Huskar over time. I mean, this Huskar going in very strange ways for a man that has a fair bit of magic resistance.
Man, just imagine if Fear was at that fight, that would have been so much better for EG. He threw the Moonlight Shadow out, and it didn't even look like Wings had detection, but they still managed to walk away with a victory there.
Yeah, I mean, as we were seeing earlier, this Elder Titan, he is doing absolutely wonders in these team fights at this stage of the game. Just
those stomps, just on point, like ice.
Splits, ice.
Between him and Faith Beyond, these two have done a tremendous amount, even though Faith Beyond died a few times. Just the overall vision game he's providing for Wings is doing a lot of work here, especially with the kind of build that the Alchemist is going. You know, clearly he wants to be that frontline hero player. He's not going for the Radiance build, and with that kind of itemization, you want to be able to control the map, and you want to be, you know, with your team fighting. So, bottom lane here, EG with 2, but there are wards everywhere.
They really are. Wings very well aware of the movements of EG. EG in turn, be aware of the movements of Wings if anyone comes around in the mid. Maybe where EG look to focus their pressure next. Blink on his own for the time being. Few of Wings did TP down to the bottom lane as well. See how heavy EG want to go in on this push. In fact, Wings are going to be the ones to make a play. Smoke up from Y, Faith Beyond. Moving out at the same time, the wraparound from EG is looking for the mid lane fight. Eyesight is going to focus on Zai. Universe moving out to the other time. He's fairly beefy. It's going to take a bit of a while to bring him down. And they might not get it because Faith Beyond comes in, chokes the trees. Eyesight with the stop finally goes down. So EG will get the kill. Looking for Shadow, jumps across onto Zai. Zai, corner place for PPD. Zai is going to live throughout this one. A defensive disruption onto Shadow. Shadow turns towards the Wyvern. PPD forced back Sumail, chasing down Huskar, but he can't quite finish off the kill. Shadow getting low.
Double kill.
They need a Sumail. They're finding themselves a 3rd kill in this engagement. Fear, Universe, dancing around the back lines.
Everyone's so low.
It looks like they will get out. Fear jumps away. But again, EG are the ones to come out of these team fights. And it just seems like Shadow and the Huskar is not able to get as much as he would have hoped done. He is dying every time.
As soon as he goes on a target, you know, there's a cold embrace, and he just gets medallion used on him. He becomes incredibly squishy at this point in the game. You know, having an armlet and an ogre club is alright, but when you don't have any armor, you just get chunked so hard. Very rough for him during this game. He's really relying on his teammates to be able to back him up, and even with the defensive disruption we saw, it didn't really matter much. Stomp here is going to whiff. But yeah, EG looking really solid here in game number 2 so far.
Wings now, at this stage, when you're losing fights like that, is it just a case of holding back a little bit? I mean, usually they're the ones to start these fights. It seems very hard for Wings to react. As you said, just the plays between kind of PPD, you know, dancing around these fights, and Sumail being able to move in and out with the Armlet, the Solar Crest, and the Chemical Rage regen. It's making it very hard for Wings to get the targets that they want for at the start. When the jumping is there from Shadow and EG, they're coming around from the side.
Wearing off.
To fight, the split, it's going to connect onto Sumail. Hold embrace is there.
Oh, what a curse.
Again, PPD with the save. Sumail turns around, ball, punching into Eyesight. Eyesight just about to get Sumail with the Stargate time. Coming in, looking trying to clobber down the other time, but Icesight's going for the TP. They'll find the return side pays with his life. Wings that wants to find the successful fight this time round. A great way for them to start getting Sumail out of the fight at the beginning and allowing them to follow through. Universe is looking for some kind of cleanup killer, who's thinking about going for fake PR. The presence of Blink in the other will hold him back here. See if he can find anything here. Arrow come out for Fade. Nearly getting blocked by his own creeps into it. Fear can't find the connection.
These fights are just so chaotic between both teams. It feels like Wings, they obviously want to try to 5-man. Oh, dunk here. Spirit's gonna leap away.
Dire's middle tower is all
This is
alone
something
in the
that
world.
Beyond does in the past as well. Like, he likes the Vlad Rush builds with his Beastmaster because you're already providing such a strong attack speed aura. There's no reason to not get the armor or the lifesteal on top of it. It's just very nice when you know that you're going to be grouping up as 5 and you really want to try to, you know, boost that Huskar into a position where he's not feeling so weak against like the Solar Crest and the armor build of the Sumail's Alchemist here.
Ooh. This is, this build for Sumail with the Shadow Blade.
With the Crest as well. It's a very easy Roshan for them to take.
And Sumail, with that Shadow Blade, is he going to go for
Oh man, Wings just barely missed a scan. They thought they were going for a smoke, but now they're coming in. They know what's happening.
They're going to try and contest it here. Split has just come back online. EG taking it down to about third health. Arrow connects onto Shadow there. They can't afford to lose the Huskar at the start of this fight. This is a defensive disruption. But why? Shadow now jumps in onto Fear. Fear leaps away. The Witch's Curse from PvD holding Shadow in place. The Wing's still there to help out the Huskar. Turning towards Universe. He's got it back. The Flame and Spear stacking up. Cold Embrace from PvD behind Universe. Sometimes still has the Stone Gate to stop. Onto Universe. The Stone Gate comes out. Sumail gonna get frozen here. Universe trying to get back in the pit for the Mystic Snake. Takes it down. Sumail trying to fight around as the arrow. Connects with the baby on the Huskar. Beats into Sumail. Chasing down for more now. Fear has to leap away at the start. From Eyesight gets that PvD. A third kill for Wings. They win the Rose fight. They'll head straight
This is
into it.
free Roshan.
It's absolutely huge for Wings.
Man, their team fight coordination is just off the charts, and Arrow's gonna land here, but it does not matter. Wings secure the Aegis for Shadow.
Oh my god, what a fight for them to have there. Everything went right for them. EG, they tried to go for the plays. PPD desperately trying to save his team.
Watch what happens here. The stun Sumail, he really wants to throw it out. He knows the Innocence is coming in for a disruption, but he stuns himself. At this point, they have to use the Curse defensively. There's no damage output on Shadow at all. He's able to disengage from the fight, and now all of a sudden, Universe is just in his horrible position. This Cold Embrace on the Universe pretty much sentences him to death, more or less. And you can also see that Faith Beyond gets the wall up at the exact same time as Sumail, which unfortunately, he's facing the Medusa. So all of a sudden, there's another disable on him, and he just gets shredded after that point. Amazing teamfight coordination coming out from Wings. They're going for the 2-1 here on the bottom lane. And as it stands right now, EG, they just have not had the response in the last couple of fights.
Yeah, we're just seeing how well the synergy is there between Wings' heroes. They're having that Elder Toad with the stomp set up into the Stone Gaze. And they're even just having like the aura as well, just allowing Blink or Medusa to chop through the lineup that little bit easier. 18 minutes in, I mean, Alk, of course, Sumail, he's top of the net worth, but he's only 1k ahead of Blink's Medusa, and that, not necessarily as far ahead as you want to be at this stage of the game, but obviously, Sumail is not really going for the farming build, he is going for the fighting build, so you're not going to have that progression as much.
He's 0-3 with the fighting build. Like, with this build, you're supposed to be incredibly tanky, be the frontline hero that your team needs, make heroes squishy with the Acid Spray combination, with the Crest, and just get kills. But it's not working. So because of that, he's being crippled a tremendous amount. This build does not flash farm very well in comparison, obviously, to the Radiance build. So the recovery rate of the Alchemist is going to be slowed dramatically. And in that time, you know, Blink, he's getting closer and closer to that Lincoln Sphere right now. He's only about, 1,300 gold away. I just got to give all the credit in the world to Wings. They are playing this game just unbelievably well.
They are playing like a team that certainly deserves a spot in the grand finals here at TI6. Wings ready for looking for another fight, immediately just jumping onto the side, they'll take over. Nothing else to come of this yacht. The free kill nonetheless, and with a man down, Wings could look to put pressure on elsewhere. Onto the G. Ready to go down the mid lane at the same time. I mean, you can see Blink on the juices just forcing up on the top lane. They'll try and jump into him, but Wings, they're moving over the arrows going to miss. Blink tanking this all up. He's got a stone gate available. They'll see now if Wings can close back in onto this. Universe, Fear, and Sumail being split apart behind the tower. They have to scatter.
Dire's middle
As
tower is
Wings
under
come
attack.
in
It has
full
no
force
arms to
here.
defend itself.
Continue the plays from last game, just cutting the creep wave, making sure the Wings can't get a push on here on the top lane. The Wings, they'll quickly just turn their attention towards the mid.
Dire's
Big
middle
gun
tower
pickups
is
coming
under
out. Blink
attack.
with the Lincoln Sphere up, making it even harder, of course, for EG to react to this Medusa. We saw that, but Blink can go out on his own and they just can't kill him
Dire's middle
unless
tower
they
is
have
under
the
attack.
full side of
It has
EG
no
ready
arms
to
to defend
fight.
itself.
Mid lane Wings, they'll take a tier
Dire's middle
2.
tower has fallen.
EG unable to
Timber.
stop this play from happening. As EG need to kind of regather and regroup themselves and come up with a game plan. We can see that the universe pretty much has the Aghanims done. I mean, how much is this going to change the team fights having the Axe on the Night Stalk?
Having the extra damage output could be enough to actually result in a kill, and that's really the thing that they're struggling with the most. It's like they go on one hero, gets disrupted, Fear, going for the leap TP, so the kill be fine, but the Mirana Axe also does something else, where if you look at Wings lineup, they're not really the greatest at pushing out waves until Medusa starts to get, you know, crazy amounts of farm and split shot, and obviously the Mystic Snake will be able to push out waves. So you can maybe look to that and say they can split up the map a bit, EG, and force Wings around, and not be able to just get to the base and start looking to siege, because once they get there, you know, that Beastmaster Vlad's plus Inner Beast is great.
Axe on the
Dire has
Fist,
fortified
Axe
its
on
structures.
Universe. Let's see how this changes the tide of the fight. EG looking to lead in with the Moonlight Shadow, so they can focus first. Shadow Demon's incredibly pesky, but oh, it's going to be the concoction onto Shadow. I've lost onto Fabian. Arrow connects off the Huskar as well, but Blink, he's very the stone game, so EG can't jump in onto Shadow. The Earth Spinner coming through, it's going to land on the PBD. Corner place is going to keep it alive for the time being, but Shadow will just start to stack up the burning spear, so PBD will go down. Just a 1-for-1 at the moment. EG still keeping their distance away from Wings. Wings have a
The
raw
Dire's top
skill.
tower is doing its
Of course,
best, but it doesn't
Huskar
look
ever
good.
ready with the jumps. If EG decide to come back in, Universe has got to be careful. Of course, he's got Gem. Can't afford to lose that.
Dire's
Sumail.
bottom tower is
Getting into
under
Shadow.
attack.
Shadow pushed down as well. Do they have the damage with the tower coming in? They'll take him. He's got Aegis. He's going to be back around two. Roll for Fabian onto Fear Marauder. Can he get out? He does. Fear jumps down,
My
keeps
gods,
himself
the
alive.
Dire's
Oh,
bottom
that's
tower
right.
doesn't
Taken down
even have arms to
EG.
defend
They're
itself.
turning this one.
What
Fear
a
does
brave
still.
tower.
Needs to kill Static Company.
Dire's
The
bottom tower
Huskar
is under
looks to
attack.
be too strong at this stage for the remaining members of EG to deal with on this top
Dire's
lane.
top tower
As Wings
has
take a
fallen.
tier 2 and Shadow will be very
By
happy
the
to
gods,
jump on
the Dire's bottom
either
tower
side
doesn't
or
even have
Universe if they
arms to
come
defend
too close
itself.
for comfort.
What a brave
Wings
tower.
ready to push in on this top lane. EG with just 3 men alive. Let's see how they can stop this. PPD coming forward. Shadow. Spear down. Forces him back. Wings need to make sure they don't throw this one away up on this push. Wings rather low on mana. Good low in the tank.
Oh, good curve.
That's a free kill there. Oh, left of Shadow Demon. Destruction comes out. Fabian.
Oh,
Total visions onto the Beastmaster. Pains with his life. PPD in the tree line. Taken down as well. Wings.
Dire's top tower has fallen. It was
Baiting
only a matter
EG
of
out.
time.
Taking them down. And Aaron wants to fear onto Blink. It's going to be buyback from PPD. EG, they need to do something big here. Looking to the Shadow Demon, but innocent. He's not going to EG are crumbling on this top lane.
Dire's top
Sumail.
tower has fallen.
They tap out 23 minutes in. EG corner of Wings on your first grand
Radiant victory.
final.
Achievement for the ages.
Taking down EG in the upper bracket finals 2-0 in absolutely incredible fashion.
Unbelievable. They played this game so well. In the beginning, it looked like EG had a really solid laning stage. Sumail's going for this mid-game centric build. He went for the Solar Crest, he went for the Armlet, and EG look a little bit at a loss right now, and I don't blame them, man. Ice, especially on his